I get it. Life is busy. Work gets in the way. Family gets in the way. Social commitments get in the way. Yet we still want to be able to lose weight and tone up, get fitter, faster, stronger, healthier. However, we just don't quite know how to make it all fit. Maybe we don't know where to start or what we can do about it. Well, this Apple-only setup using just your phone, your watch and Apple's native health and fitness tracking apps actually make it incredibly simple to do. By pressing a couple of buttons, following the rings, you're going to get results. Come with me now and I'll show you exactly how I do it to make sure that I stay as fit and healthy as possible for as long as possible. Now, most people when they get their new Apple Watch, they stop at closing their rings, and that's a great place to start. But that's where the magic starts to happen. I'm going to give you my native app routine. We're going to look at activity, workout, fitness, sleep, mindfulness. All of these things put together are going to get you to start moving that needle in the direction that you want it to go in. So without further ado, let's jump into the tech and get fit. And while we're here, I've been sent a camera to test and review. I'm using it now. All onboard audio, auto settings. What do you think? If you're into your camera tech as well as your fitness, click that subscribe button. We got some good stuff coming your way. Okay, we need to jump into the Batcave and talk about how we start this thing off and make sure we cover those foundations first of all. Okay, foundations first then. What we need to do, start with the Rings app. We're going to open up that fitness app, we're going to click on the rings, and we're going to set those goals to somewhere that is achievable or winnable. The move goal, start with this one first. Whatever it is set to at the moment, nudge it up by 10, maybe 15%, and then work with that for the next 7 days. Same thing with the exercise goal. Typically set out 30 minutes, push that up to 45, and your stand goal, minimum of 12. And if you feel like you can do more, push that up as well. But don't go too far. Here's the trick with these things. If you consistently hit the number and go over it, then after 7 days, push it up a little bit more. However, if you start to miss a few, then just bring it back down again. We want to try and find that nice balance point. An example, your move goal. If you hit this by lunchtime, it's set way too low. We need to bump it up. So still within that same app, we're going to keep the reminders on. And by that, I mean there's 3 of them. We've got the stand reminder, which is going to nudge you every hour that you don't stand up. It's going to nudge you to stand up so that we get some movement in from that. The next one we leave on is that end of day, close your rings thing. And it's going to say something like, you haven't quite closed your rings yet, you've still got time to go for a walk or whatever it is. And then the third thing we've got on is activity sharing alerts. Now we're going to come on to that in just a bit, but these tiny little pushes or nudges in the right direction can help keep us accountable. So switch those on. Quick recap, the rings, set your activity ring 10 to 15% higher than it is at the moment and monitor it. Your exercise ring, if it's at the default level, set it to 45 minutes. If you're already there, go a little bit more than that and see what you can find. And same thing with that stand goal. If you consistently hit them, push them up a little bit more. If you miss 1 or 2 of them on a regular basis, then bring them back down. We want to find that balance point that is sustainable over the long term. Okay, we're still within that same app then. We're going to click on that workout tab. Now there are 4 different workouts that I will rotate through here. Keep it super simple and easy to navigate through. They will be going for a walk, logging a run, a form of functional strength training, and then a more of a high intensity version, but I just click the cross training thing rather than the actual high intensity interval training option on there. And I keep my screens on each workout super bare bones, like really easy to read. I've got total time. If I'm on an outdoor walk or run, I will have my current pace and my heart rate zone. And if I'm in an indoor workout, so I'm doing functional strength training or cross training, again, I'll have total time and I'll monitor my heart rate. And if it's something that requires me to do an every minute on the minute or do something for a set amount of time, then I'll have that set on that screen as well. So super simple, low level stuff. The more complicated these things get, the less likely we are to actually get on and do it because we're just constantly fiddling around. So 4 different workouts: walk, run, functional strength training, and cross training. slightly customize the screens to suit each one, and we are good to go. Now, after every session, I will check the progress of those rings to see how far away I am from them, but usually by this point in the day, I'm moving pretty close to where I need to be from there. There is something to remember here though. You don't need to spend hours in the gym. You just need to follow a well-structured, well-thought-out program that will get you in and out so that you can maximize the time that you do spend in the gym to get the biggest return on that investment. If you're in the gym for longer than 45 minutes, you're probably doing more than you need to, or you're not being efficient, and therefore we're not going to get the best results we can. We all lead very busy lives. Let's get in that gym, get our heads down, do the work, and get out again. Now, if you're interested to know how I structure my workout programs, if you'd like me to share with you a few tips and tricks, let me know in the comments below, and I'll definitely be thinking about putting some of those videos together. I've got a few little gifts for you as well, so we can pop those in at the same time. So if you want to know how to structure a decent workout that will get you in and out and move that needle, comment workout below and I'll get to it for you. Now, before we get into the next bit, I want you to think about this or remember this. Consistency of effort will always beat intensity of effort. So if you can consistently exercise for 30 minutes, 3 times a week, then do that. Don't try and do 2.5, 3 hours once a week. The magic will happen with that consistency of effort, not with that one high, intense, mad for it session. So just remember that. Okay, so still kind of sticking with that consistency of effort, we've also got to think about our support network. So we're still within this same app, and now we're just going to check on the sharing section. And what I want you to do is pick 3 people that you know that maybe also have, well, they're going to have, but they also have either an iPhone or an Apple Watch or both. Click on that. Share your activity with them and ask them to share their activity with you. When someone else closes their rings or whatever ring it is, you'll get a notification, and that maybe is the trigger to set you off to kind of go, oh man, Steve's done his exercise ring, I'm a bit behind, and I don't want to be behind Steve, so I'm definitely going to get that 10-minute walk-in that I said I was going to do. Oh, perhaps I've only got 5 minutes to get down the road and back. Do that, because maybe that's 5 minutes more than you would have done. It also gives us accountability that we can use moving forwards. Another little tip that I can give you, or a little tip or trick that I can give you, is that once a week, for me, I do this on a Sunday, I'll just open up that fitness app and I'll look at the trends section and I'll see which ones are moving up and or which ones are moving down. That then gives me the opportunity to think about the next 7 days worth of exercise and activity and how I can turn a downward arrow potentially into an upward arrow. Something to remember that with these arrows though, if you're fairly new or you're within, I think it's 28 days, if you're within 28 days of starting this, a lot of those arrows are not going to be moving in any direction. They need to gather at least that much data before they can work out your average trend. But then once you've got that, you can start to nudge them up or down depending on which way you go. So once a week for me on a Sunday, usually towards the end of a Sunday, quick look at the trends and then I can adjust if I need to my next 7 days worth of activity. All right, the big one. This really is the biggest thing, or one of the 4 biggest things. And if you're interested to know what my 4 foundational steps are for improving health and fitness, let me know in the comments below and I will make a separate video about that. But this is the first one of these 4 things. And that is quite simply sleep, recovery. Recovery is free performance. Within the sleep app, I use one schedule, a fixed bedtime, a fixed wake time, so an alarm, and the sleep focus on my phone, and therefore my watch turns on and or off automatically depending on what time of day it is. And if needs be, I will either top up the watch on the charger before I go to bed or right after waking up so that I'm not going to miss that tracking. That's the one thing that if we can really work on improving quality, not necessarily quantity, but quality of sleep, we're going to feel much better the next day. And science has proven that if we get good sleep, we are more likely to make better decisions the following day. And those better decisions could be the difference between going for a walk or not, or eating a donut or not. So at some point in the morning, usually when I've got up, been out for a walk, come back, have a coffee, just kind of gathering thoughts for the rest of the day, I will open up the health app and I will pay attention to the sleep section in there. And I will focus on 2 main things, and that is the actual sleep score I've got, how that's broken up, but I won't get bogged down in the super detail of it. And then also there's consistency. So over the last 7 days, has my sleep consistency quality been improving or getting a bit worse? If it's improving, good. I know I'm onto a bit of a run, so that's fine. And if it's been getting a little bit worse, then I need to think about what have I done differently over the last 7 days that maybe I need to put back together so we can keep that average coming back up. So sleep, definitely pay attention to it. Use the app the next day to give you your score and also consistency, but don't get super bogged down in all the numbers. Okay, next up then, and this one's on the watch. So we've got our mindfulness app or mindfulness setting where we can focus on breath work, for example. This is like a 1 minute reset, and to be fair, I don't use this as often as I should do. However, I have started to try more often. So before something big is about to happen, or maybe I've got an important meeting or something like that, then I'll just take that 60 seconds of concentrated breath work to just calm things down for me. And if the day gets spicy, that kind of thing, then I can do it at the end of the day, which again, we're just calming that nervous system down, and that can help with that quality of sleep that we were just talking about. You can also log what's called a state of mind check-in. That shows up in health, so you can spot any patterns and that kind of stuff. Okay, cruising towards the last few bits and pieces of how we use these apps and all the settings on our phone and our watch to get us where we need to be. Health is the sanity check. Open up that health app. We've got a little dashboard on there which will show us our steps, our walking and running distance, our cardio fitness, so our VO2 max, estimated VO2 max, a resting heart rate and a walking heart rate average. Now, if the cardio fitness trends up and resting heart rate trends down, we know we're on track. If one of those two is slightly out, then again, we've got an opportunity to just think back, what have we been doing over the last 7 days? Maybe what's gone a bit wonky, and how do we course correct that? Okay, here's a simple week that you can copy and adapt to your own busy lifestyles, but here's how I try and structure it up. Every single day we want to try and get out for a minimum of 30-minute brisk walk. You don't need to do that all in one go. You could break it up into sections, 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever it needs to be. But just commit to that 30 minutes. You'll be surprised at how good you feel when you do it. So on Monday, we're going to be trying to get in a strength-based session, 30 to 45 minutes. Focus on the big movements, pushing, pulling, and pressing. Get the whole body done in one session. A Tuesday, some form of cardio. Again, 30 to 45 minutes. Doesn't have to be super high heart rate. Maybe it's a run or on a stationary bike or something like that, just to get a bit of blood flow moving around the body. Wednesday, we're going to look at a little bit more of an intense workout. So we could be thinking about intervals here, 3 minutes of work, 2 minutes of rest. Again, we can throw a barbell or dumbbells around for that sort of thing. Thursday, active recovery day. Nothing high intense or anything like that. We're not going to be moving any weight around. Definitely still get that walk in. Maybe go for a little bit of a longer walk if you can. Friday, let's do another functional strength training day. So again, pushing, pulling and training those legs. Do not forget legs. Saturdays is a fun day for us here. We get all our friends round and we just throw down in the gym and kind of just do whatever we feel like doing just to get a bit of movement in. But you can do whatever works for you on that day. And then Sunday, for us, we'll go for a nice long, slow run or a nice long walk if possible. And that's a real simple week. So give all those little things a go. Make those few little tweaks that I suggested at the beginning, and then remember to be consistent with your effort. Don't go all in because we're likely to burn out. Try it for 7 days and then let me know in the comments below what's improved for you. In fact, why don't you put your current move goal in the comments and I'll help you fine tune that as well. I'm here to help support and encourage. Now, one last thing. If you want to know how to set up your Apple Watch for a specific sporting event, then watch this video here. Then when you've watched that, get outside, let's get some fitness going. And as ever, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.